Hello everyone, this is Victor. Welcome back to the channel. Today we reach arguably the most misunderstood, ahead of its time game ever made. Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. If Metal Gear Solid was Kojima's cinematic breakthrough, Sons of Liberty was his philosophical manifesto, wrapped inside a bait and switch nobody saw coming. The years, 2 years after the Shadow Moses incident, Solid Snake and Otakon have founded a private anti-proliferation group called Philanthropy, dedicated to eliminating Metal Gear variants. Acting on a tip, Snake infiltrates an oil tanker sailing through New York Harbor. Intelligence suggests the United States Marines are secretly transporting a new Metal Gear prototype on board. Snake navigates the tanker in the rain, past Russian mercenaries commanded by a man named Sergei Gorlukovich, who plans to steal the machine for Russia and restore his country's superpower status. Inside the cargo hold, Snake watches Marine Commandant Scott Dolph unveil Metal Gear Ray to his troops. Unlike Rex, Ray is an anti-Metal Gear unit designed to hunt down rogue nuclear platforms. Snake photographs everything and transmits it to Otakon. But then Revolver Ocelot appears with a new arm grafted in place of the one Gray Fox destroyed 2 years before. Ocelot reveals himself as the true manipulator behind the operation. He kills Gorlukovich, betraying the Russian mercenaries who trusted him, and hijacks Ray for himself.
Sergei, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Traitors! Stop!
It's been a while, brother.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Then something extraordinary happened. Liquid Snake's personality begins speaking through Ocelot's grafted arm, temporarily overtaking him. Ocelot detonates the tanker and escapes with Ray. Snake barely survives. The explosion and the tanker sinking are blamed publicly on Philanthropy and on Solid Snake himself, who is declared a terrorist responsible for an environmental disaster. Two years later, in 2009, the wreck site in the harbor has been covered by a massive offshore environmental cleanup facility called Big Shell. A group of terrorists has seized it. They call themselves Sons of Liberty. They hold the President of the United States hostage and threaten to destroy Big Shell and irradiate the harbor unless their demands are met. Foxhound sends in a new operative named Raiden. Young, inexperienced, trained entirely on virtual reality simulation. His support team is Colonel Campbell and his girlfriend Rose. From the moment Raiden enters Big Shell, something feels familiar. The structure of his mission mirrors Shadow Moses almost exactly, but at this point neither Raiden nor the player understands why. Early in the mission, Raiden meets a mysterious operative calling himself Iroquois Pliskin, a Navy SEAL who appears to know far more than he should. He is, of course, Solid Snake in disguise. The terrorist group Dead Cell is a former Black Ops unit that went rogue. Each member has an impossible ability, Fortune, who cannot be touched by bullets, Vamp, who cannot seem to die. And the group's leader is a man claiming to be Solid Snake himself, calling himself Solidus Snake, dressed in an exoskeleton suit and wielding twin blades with two mechanical arms. Raiden works through Big Shell, encountering an ally named Peter Stillman, a legendary bomb disposal expert who trained the terrorists' bomb expert, Batman, and cannot escape what he created. Stillman sacrifices himself to disarm bombs in the lower level.
On department store clock counter. Life is short. Bombs tell the time with every moment of their existence, and nothing else announces its own end with such a fanfare. Glad you could make it. The party's about to start.
Batman is defeated, but the mission keeps revealing new layers, each one stranger and more unsettling than the last. Raiden eventually rescues President James Johnson, who wastes no time in telling him things that change everything the player thought they understood about this mission and this world. Johnson reveals that the Big Shell is a cover story. Underneath it, submerged and hidden, is Arsenal Gear, a massive mobile fortress housing a next-generation AI system. Wellpube's purpose is not military in the traditional sense. It exists to monitor, filter, and control the flow of digital information across the entire internet, erasing what the powerful deem unfit. He also reveals that the United States is not actually governed by its elected officials. A secret group called the Patriots has controlled the country from the shadows for decades.
The Patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders? No one knows who the Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday.
Every president since the 1970s has been either a member of the Patriots, a puppet installed by them, or a clone of Big Boss with no true power of their own. The actual Solidus, the game's apparent villain, was also once a president, removed from power by the Patriots when he began questioning their authority. After the Shadow Moses incident, he now wants to destroy GW entirely. Before Johnson can hand Raiden a critical disk containing a virus designed to destroy GW, Revolver Ocelot arrives and kills the president, leaving Raiden to continue alone.
At least prevent the nuclear strike.
Cut it out!
Do it! That's her role!
Pull!
No!
That's abusing your right to free speech, Mr. President. Or is it ex-president?
The president! Why did you...
Alas, my finger must have slipped. I'll see you around, carrier boy.
Forget him. He did us a favor.
Raiden's next objective is to find Emma Emmerich, Otacon's estranged stepsister, and the programmer who designed the GW virus hidden deep inside the big shell. Before I forget, if you are enjoying this video, please hit that like button right now. It helps the channel more than you know. Subscribe too. It means everything, thank you. Emma is terrified, traumatized, and brilliant. Her relationship with Otacon is fractured by a shared tragedy from their childhood. Their reunion is complicated and bittersweet. Getting Emma across the connecting bridge to upload her virus is one of the most painfully tense escort sequences in any game, made worse by the knowledge of what comes next. Vamp ambushes them. Emma is stabbed before Raiden can stop it. She manages to initiate the virus upload from a terminal before losing consciousness, with only a partial connection established.
I don't think we can. Unless somebody inside gives us a hand.
Hal. I always...
What is it?
wanted to see you again.
She dies in Otacon's arms. Snake can barely speak afterward. Raiden continues, but the weight of what just happened makes every step forward feel more costly than the last. The virus reaches GW but only partially. With Arsenal gear still operational, Snake and Raiden conclude there is no option but to get inside the fortress and confront Solidus direct. Then Olga Gorlukovich, a Russian soldier who has been helping Raiden throughout the mission under the codename Mr. X, reveals herself and knocks Raiden unconscious to get him inside.
Take off. We still need you to take care of a few things. This time, do not fail us.
Snake, what's this all about?
Bedtime, Raiden. I wouldn't do that.
You're changing sides now?
Change sides? I don't recall saying I was on yours.
Damn it. You!
Ready for some shut-eye?
Raiden wakes strapped naked to a torture device inside Arsenal gear, with Solidus Snake standing over him. And Solidus tells him something that breaks whatever remained of his sense of self. Solidus knows Raiden. He raised him. During the Liberian Civil War, Solidus built an army of child soldiers, and Raiden, then called Jack, was one of the best he ever trained. He called the child Jack the Ripper. He shaped the boy into a killer and erased his memories. The gentle young man with no real combat experience has been a weapon his entire life, and never knew it. Olga returns and releases Raiden, revealing that her own infant daughter was taken by the Patriots at birth, and they will kill the child if she does not cooperate with their plan. As Raiden navigates Arsenal Gear's interior, something begins to break down inside his support system. Colonel Campbell's transmissions become increasingly fragmented and disturbing. The Colonel begins telling Raiden to turn off the console, to stop playing, to look away. His words stop making sense as a mission commander and start sounding like a system coming apart at the seams. Otacon discovers the truth. Campbell was never real during this mission. He was a construct generated by WW itself, a simulation of Snake's support figure designed to guide Raiden through his operation. Emma's virus is tearing GW apart, and as the AI deteriorates, the mask slips. The kernel becomes incoherent, a dying machine losing its ability to maintain the fiction it was built to project. Rose also breaks down in her transmissions, eventually confessing that she was assigned by the Patriots to become Raiden's girlfriend and monitor him. Their entire relationship was surveillance. She tells him she is pregnant. The transmission cuts. Wow, wow. Raiden is left alone with no support structure, no genuine commanding officer, a fabricated lover, and an identity built on erased atrocity. Snake and Raiden reunite. Snake admits the earlier betrayal was necessary to gain entry to Arsenal. He gives Raiden a high-frequency blade from Olga, and they fight through the fortress together. Fortune, still believing Snake destroyed her father on the tanker 2 years ago, confronts him before the final act. She cannot be killed by bullet. No weapon touches her. Ocelot finally reveals himself as a Patriot agent. The entire Sons of Liberty operation was a test, a controlled experiment called the S3 Plan, the Solid Snake simulation designed by the Patriots. The goal was to take a subject with no real battlefield experience and force him through a perfect reconstruction of the Shadow Moses incident, to see if they could manufacture another Solid Snake. Every variable had been engineered. Raiden's mission briefings, his opponents, his support team, the structure of Big Shell itself, all of it designed to mirror what Snake experienced in Alaska. Raiden was not the hero of a mission. He was a lab rat in the most expensive, most elaborate experiment in information control ever conducted, and it worked almost exactly as designed. Ocelot attempts to destroy Fortune, Snake, and Solidus together. Fortune uses her ability one final time to deflect Ocelot's attack, protecting the others. Then she dies, the power finally gone. Ocelot explains that Fortune's immunity to bullets was never supernatural. It was a device, a field generator hidden in her suit, installed by the Patriots, who manufactured her as a tragic figure.
Thought I got her in the heart. It missed. Now I remember. Your heart's on the right. Waste of metal, my dear, but your luck's run out. This is the little gizmo. There's no such thing as miracles or the supernatural, only cutting-edge technology.
Then Liquid Snake's voice returns through Ocelot's arm. This time the possession is total. Liquid hijacks Ocelot's body and departs with Metal Gear Ray, promising to hunt down the Patriot. Arsenal Gear, its AI failing and its course locked, crashes into Lower Manhattan near Federal Hall. Solidus and Raiden are deposited together onto the rooftop of the historic building, alone.
I've been waiting for this! It can't be! I've been inside this arm all along, waiting for the right time to awaken.
You were inside Ocelot?
Yes, a sleeper in the arm of a Patriot spy.
It was you 2 years ago?
Exactly. I was controlling him. Snake, it was I that leaked information about Arsenal to your partner and got you out here.
What?
You're the only one that can free me. After all...
Solidus tells Raiden the final truth about the Patriots, their true purpose, and what GWE was actually built to do, beyond filtering information. It was about controlling human cultural evolution itself. The fight between them is inevitable. Raiden versus the man who made him. The weapon versus its maker. The orphan versus the father who erased everything that came before the weapon. Raiden wins. Solidus falls from the roof. Snake and Otacon find Raiden in the streets of Manhattan. Rose is real. The baby is real. The mission is over. But nothing was what it claimed to be. Now let us talk about what this game was actually saying, because in 2001, most players were furious, and today, every theme Kojima explored in this game has become the texture of daily life. The central concept of Metal Gear Solid 2 is mimetic engineering, not genes this time, but memes. The idea that culture, belief, and identity can be isolated, engineered, and controlled like code. The Patriots do not govern through armies or laws. They govern by controlling what information exists, which events get remembered, which people get to be considered heroes, which ideas survive. Raiden is the purest expression of this idea in the game. Every part of him was constructed. His memories were erased. His personality was shaped by trauma he was not allowed to recall. His combat training came from living through the MGL missions in virtual reality without knowing it. His self-concept was a fiction installed by people who needed him to believe he was a normal person. He has no origin that belongs to him. He is the product of choices made by others, narratives selected for him, an identity assembled from manufactured experience and deliberate erasure. Kojima was asking in 2001 whether any of us are meaningfully different from Raiden, whether our values, our beliefs, and our sense of self are chosen, or whether they are curated for us by systems we cannot see. The Colonel's breakdown inside Arsenal Gear is one of the most unsettling sequences in any game, because it forces the player directly into the question. The voice guiding you is not real. The mission you are on was designed to produce a specific outcome. The relationship that grounds you emotionally was a surveillance operation. What then are you actually doing when you play this game? Kojima is not asking that question gently. He is insisting on it. The entire bait and switch with Raiden replacing Snake was not a betrayal of the player. It was the point. You expected to be Solid Snake. You came in with assumptions, with genre expectations, with a hero's identity already assigned. And Kojima replaced all of that with someone uncertain and manufactured. He made you feel what Raiden feels. Displaced, confused, robbed of the identity you thought you had. And then he asked whether the identity you thought you had was ever really yours to begin with. The Patriots and our AIW were 20 years ahead of the conversations we are having today about algorithmic curation, about who decides what information is visible, about what gets filtered and why. In 2001, this felt like paranoid science fiction. Today, it is the operating model of every major platform that mediates how billions of people encounter reality. Kojima saw it coming before it arrived. Fake news, information bubbles, manufactured consent through digital platforms, the erosion of shared reality, as different communities receive entirely different curated versions of the same world. All of it is the S3 plan at scale. The experiment does not end with Raiden. It never ended. It simply moved from a hidden fortress in the harbor to the phone in your pocket. Solidus wanted to destroy the system. The Patriots wanted to control it. Raiden survived it. And Snake, at the end, just told a shaken young man to live his own life, regardless of what made him. That is the answer Metal Gear Solid 2 offered. Not a solution to information control or manufactured identity. Just the insistence that awareness of the system is the beginning of choosing differently. That in knowing you have been shaped, you are no longer only what they made you. That the ability to question the kernel, to turn off the codec, to ask who is really speaking, is itself a form of freedom. In 2001, most players rejected it. Today, it reads like a manual for understanding the world we actually live in. That is what it means to be ahead of your time. And Kojima was very far ahead.
Can I ask you something? Who am I, really?
I wouldn't know. But we're going to find out together, aren't we?
Oh. Yeah.
See me for what I am, okay?
I know.
I'm leaving recommended videos on the card right now for you to check out now. Thank you so much for watching, and see you later on, so GG Play.
Snake, you there? It's me. I've finished going over that disc.
Did you find the Patriots list?
Of course. It contains the personal data of 12 people. There was a name on it. Snake, it was one of our biggest contributors.
What's going on around here?
I don't know.
Anyway, where are they?
Well, we were right about them being on Manhattan, but...
But what?
They're already dead. All 12 of them.
When did it happen?
Well, about 100 years ago.
What the